Hi, I'm Mustonen-Kirk, your coach in a box for the next couple of weeks as we undertake this worldwide group uROk 33-day challenge. And you're joining me for the video coaching sessions on the pre-work leading up to the day one blueprint of the 33-day days of challenge where you will go solo. However, I will be posting some booster videos to keep you motivated and keep you on track for the duration of the 33 days. You'll be faced with a blank wheel. Now on day one, the wheel that you create is the wheel that I'd like you to repeat word for word for 33 days, because repetition is actually the kicker of this program. It's fantastic to identify those core decision-making tools like your values, your vision, your purpose and your wheel ideals. But you really now need to get out there and do something about it. Remembering our early model was being, thinking, speaking, doing, connecting and back to being. We want to engage all of those creative process modes or steps, if you like, so that they're all working in harmony together. So it's a great thing to start thinking differently. It's even better to start doing things differently. Wonderful to start speaking and saying things differently. Each day when you write out your wheel statements, what you're doing is, whether you do it first thing in the morning or last thing at night, you're anchoring those messages into your mind and really giving your subconscious mind some stimulus that it can work with that's going to propel you in the direction of your true desires. Naturally, if you're doing the guided visualization CD, we do say do it at the imagine process, but I recommend you do it as often as you can because that'll again really anchor that vision. So to construct your day one blueprint, what you've got to decide is, are you going to create what I call a generic wheel or a specific wheel? And I'll explain both of these in detail. When you are creating a generic wheel, what you're actually doing is you're leaving it up to the universe a little bit more than a specific wheel. So for instance, if discovering your personal purpose was one of your core goals right now at the moment, that could become the centre of the wheel. You'd write your statements, I am, I now, I feel, wrapped around that discovering your personal purpose. Then in each of those wheel segments, you'd simply write a statement of your ideal, a la what you did in the wheel ideals, I am, I now, I feel. That's not creating any specific goals, but what it is doing is training your mind into a more positive headspace and reminding you about the things that are actually important to you. It's a great first type of wheel to do if you don't really know what you want to focus on, or you might have too many goals and some of them seem conflicting. The other way to use it is to use it as a specific wheel. Now, a lot of my clients use this exact thing for specifics. For instance, I had a sales team who used the wheel to boost sales performance. So what they did was, in the purpose in Y or U, they created a goal statement, a common goal statement that was about increasing their performance. Then each individual in that team went through and created statements in the wealth, health, self-love, work and create that supported that main personal purpose statement. So what kind of health or healthy activities do I need to do in order to boost my performance? So if it was sales performance that you wanted to boost, perhaps in the morning you needed to do some exercise before you got to work so you're feeling pumped and ready to make those sales calls. In the wealth, not only how are you going to make more sales, i.e. generate the income side, but when you do get that money from your increased sales, bonuses or checks or commissions or whatever else, how are you going to deploy that money to make you more wealthy? And henceforth around the segments. So if you want to use it for specifics, you think about the one greatest goal that you have right now in your life and you put that in the centre as the purpose. Then you go through and you create statements, I am, I now, I feel, in each of the subsequent segments to support the statement you've made in the middle. If you were using it for generics, you do exactly the same process, except rather than getting specific in each of those segments about what you're going to do, you are being more generic about the new ideal you that is actually achieving that central purpose. So that's about it in a nutshell. As I said, we've gone through all of the steps, all of the exercises leading up to the day one blueprint. Then you need to apply 3 P's of power language. Make sure it's in the personal, make sure it's present tense, and make sure it's positive. So I is being personal. I am. I now, I feel. It's in the present tense, not will or wish or hope or do it or any of those sorts of things, but I am now doing it. And finally, it must be in the positive. So I use the words I feel. I want you to think about all the positive ways that you will feel and the positive benefits that you will feel as a result of I am and I now. Then when we're ready to go on and create the actual segments, what I challenge you to do now is have a go at creating day 1 blueprint. So remember, start from the middle of the wheel, create that purpose of this 33 days, whether it's an overarching life purpose or whether it's a purpose simply for this 33 days. So go ahead and fill in the centre of the segment of the wheel and then go through and then populate all the other segments. Now, Mustonen-Kirk, and you, well, you know it already, you rock. See you later.